share something about Forex. I'm probably just need to tell you some things about how it works. There's these people who wanna say, I don't mind the background. I love just world. So something I want to show about Forex. So many people wonder why I decided to get into Forex. Many people say it's a scam. Yeah, many people can say it's a scam, and it depends on who you're saying. So it depends on who's saying that. As you can realize, people say it's a scam. Who are the people who saying it's a scam? Just poor mindset people, because this is what the banks do also. So it's what the banks do. It's what let me just make it low music. So this is what the banks does with your money. So they take your money, use it in investing, and how they invest. So most of them they invest in stock market, because stock market you can buy some stocks that are reliable stocks. Let's say in Kenya, as you can see in Kenya, the best stock that you can buy and reliable is the Safaricom stocks of Safaricom, the shares. You say the shares, but you can say in our terms maybe the stock. So the Kenya Power, the electricity that we are getting, so it cannot go like bankrupt. That is what the meaning I say. These are the they don't go like maybe with a percentage, maybe 2, 3. So these are the like reliable, but they're not that profitable, or they're not that rewarding. Let me just use the word rewarding. So the risk and the reward, it's bit low compared to other stocks, in maybe the Netflix stocks and any other stocks. So this is the reason why I say they also invest in Forex, they're related to Forex. So stocks, so in the Forex market, we are just buying and selling of currencies. While in the stock market, they buy stocks, they hold for sometimes, then they sell it. So that is just maybe a simple investment. I could say if you want compounding your money like in investment, and you don't want they say like easy money, you just go to stocks, then invest, then you don't give a fuck maybe for 10 to 15 years, or 5 years, or 10 years, it depends. So I would say maybe after a while, maybe I would say maybe 10 to 15 years, the stock might rise or might fall. But if it falls, it depends on how many stocks you bought. Worth, I say, let's say a stock worth like $1, you bought $100 worth of stocks. That is 100 stocks. If they go to 10%, you get 110. Yeah, that is it. So if you bought more than that, the more you bought, the more rewarding you're getting, and the less you bought, the less rewarding you're getting. So I'll also speak on the forex industry. There's a crypto industry where the people say the Bitcoin are like, why are you in forex but you don't have Bitcoin? So Bitcoin is another market. So the different markets. Let's say let's just use a market industry that you normally know, a local market. So in a market, there are people who are selling tomatoes, there are people who are selling onions, there are people who are saying maybe the cassavas, maybe the vegetables. So it depends which market they're in. So if you're the best, you're the best in selling, maybe if you have a demand of selling cassava, you go to the cassava. If you have the demand of you selling tomatoes, go to the tomatoes. Like, you're a seller, right? I'm a buyer. I'm going to choose where I want to buy. Like, if I know in this market I'll get a tomato which is cheaper, or not cheaper but good quality, maybe a good than any other place. So my demand will be in that place, and I'll be interested. If I meet this place, my only thinking is that I'm going to this place. I might buy another thing in another place, but the main thing that I'll focus in I'll come to that place. So this video is just to show you how the industries works. So the forex market, you have the crypto market, you have the stock market, and There's one thing I wanted to tell you, but I'll tell you when I remember. But those are the main people. But I'll say that the forex market, I think, is the largest. I'll say that it's the largest because in a day, what gets like normally they trade Monday to Friday, so it's affected by the war, maybe the oil transport, so the oil, the consumer of things. So just make it random for you to just know what is all about. So the biggest consumer, as you can know if you do research, so it's about research like forex. You're not just going to the chart looking for what is happening and just enter a trade. So you need to research first. So for researching, you need to know which are the best consumer and which are the best producer. So in a brief idea, I know that the best consumers are the USA. So the USA, they're the best consumers. That's why even if you got something like you are making something, the only thing you need maybe support, you always need from the US. And I'll say also this because compared to big countries like China. So China normally basically they do anything you imagine of it, like any machine you imagine, they can build it. So that means they make them their best producer. And I would say, with more research, I would say China is the best producer, larger producer in the world. So that's why you see the about Trump. Trump says impose some tariff in China. You think it's just a tariff, like it's not nothing compared. Like I say, it's just news. It cannot affect me. Trust me. US. It's the like the dollar. Let's say the dollar. Let's just use the currency. The dollar. It's the like favorable currency. It's like worldwide currency. So if they want to impose some tariff, so let me just explain this one because I know that most of you are not forex trader. You're just here to get the knowledge about forex. That this is the knowledge I want to give you. Because if I talk on a language that only the forex trader they know, it won't be that like it will be complicated. So let's say this is China, right? Let's say this is China, this is US, right? So like if US they're the best consumer, most consumer, I'll say most consumer, it's not the best. Yeah. So if they need something from China, they have to pay using the USD. So maybe they import something, the money cash flow goes to China. Like they use more money, so more money goes out of the China. Then if it goes out, they get the products. And if they bought it, so that means the demand for the currency value will go down because much more money are going out than coming inside. So it's like the value. Let's say a dollar. Let's say in Kenya, a dollar it's worth 129, right? Let's say we are selling something from US, right? If we sell something from US, they bring more money to our countries. So if they bring more dollars to our country, the dollar rate will change to be maybe, also it can go to 50 depending on what we give. So if we give a lot, that means the circulation of dollar will be all over because they need to change to a currency. So they'll be all over. And that is the reason why and about the money, we also use it maybe in Tanzania and anything, so the currency will be affected in many countries. That's why, because if you're importing something from outside, you need to pay a price of something. So that is what, if you're paying something outside, maybe if it's the import duty, I'll explain the import duty. Let me explain it in tax. If you're bringing something out of, you're bringing funding from outside the country, that means they'll pay a tax. So that is the tax they normally rise, because if they rise, that means it will be hard for them to bring more things, and if it's hard for them to bring more things to to their country, that means the money, a lot of money want to go outside the country, which make it stronger. And that's why Trump is fighting for that. And you say, how does it affect me? Because it's not important. Okay, this is what I want to explain the importance of that thing. If let's say we reduce the tax imposed in China, that means most of the goods from China will come into Kenya at a little price, right? Let's say it's a car from China, normally the electric cars. Let's say it's $1,000. Then the import duty, you are charged maybe, let's say $200. It can be more or less. Let's say, just I use an example, $1,000 car with the import duty of $200. Let's say a tax duty, a tax of $200. That is 1,200, right? And let's say they raise it to 500, half the price of the car. They will select another country to send the cars also, because they don't want a large amount. And whether if it's 1,500 to import the same car, and the same car can be built in US at around maybe total of 1,300, they will rather go to the 1,300 instead of the 1,500. And if it was 1,200, they will rather go to the one outside instead of the one inside. So, and if they reduce it maybe to 100, they'll import more because it will be cheaper than the ones are made locally. So that is one of the reason why the price of goods also will be affected, because including the cars, including some maybe products, maybe food supply, most of the things, I think electronics also. In this generation, I think electronics is more important for the price to be reduced. And if there is a conflict, normally it goes down. And I've talked about economic, but how does the economic and forex relate? I'll use this example. I'm sorry. I'll use this example of oil, especially in my country. Previous years, I never knew what oil affected, because I was told, oh, oil has gone up. That's why the prices of things are going up. I was like, what does it affect? Okay, oil. Let's say it's a crude oil has gone up. So if it was sold $100, then it goes to 120. But the 120, the oil is used to transport goods. So if goods are getting from the central to the coastal, they use oil. So if oil has risen, that means the transportation from the goods from that side to this side will rise in. Let's say before the transport, also the machines that make it processed, maybe if it's something to be processed, they also use oil. Let's say grease or petroleum, they also use. So for the manufacturing also, it will increase because of the price of the oil, because they use machines. The machines will use oil, and the price of oil has jumped, so the machines will need more oil, which is expensive for them. Then they increase the price from there. Then on the transport to go maybe to this area to this area, it will also need a transport from this area to this area. That is what maybe if it's something produced, maybe manufacturer of something. Let's say of books. Let's say just books. Machines that used to make the books, the papers, use oil. If book was 200 pages, maybe 200 pages was 70 bob. If they increase the oil price on the manufacturing, then maybe if they go, maybe to us it's 70, but if you buy bulk in the manufacturing, it was 50. Then they say, no, you're also getting some loss, let's do it at 60. At 60 also for the transport, you're backy, then they say on the transport because of the oil, they get it to 75. Then 75 here, you're receiving it from 70 to $100, to 100 Kenya shillings, let's say. So it was from 70 to 100. It's just oil that was risen, but the product also good. So I'll say it's better off you understand the market by now before it's too late. So thank you for the live. Those who are here, just want to end this live. Maybe because my phone is about to die, so I think I want to go to 1 hour. I'll just end it now. And thank you for everyone.